Hey everyone, welcome back to FactBuddy US, where we break down the truth behind the headlines. Today's topic, one that's hitting millions of Americans hard right now, the cost of living in America, and how it's making people give up. Now that might sound dramatic, but stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening and why so many people are reaching their breaking point. Let's dive in. Section 1, what is cost of living? So first off, what exactly is the cost of living? In simple terms, it's how much money you need to pay for basic things like housing, food, transportation, healthcare utilities, childcare. Basically, the stuff you need just to survive. Not luxuries, not vacations, just everyday life. And in the US right now, that cost is skyrocketing. Section 2, rent and housing, a crisis. Let's start with housing, the biggest expense for most people. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the US is over $2,500 a month. In cities like New York or San Francisco, it can hit $3,000 or more. Home prices have doubled in many areas over the last decade, and mortgage rates have shot up too, making it nearly impossible for first-time buyers. That means millions of Americans are stuck renting, spending 40%, 60% of their paycheck just to keep a roof over their heads. Think about that. If you make $3,000 a month, you could be paying $1,800 just in rent. That leaves only $200 for everything else. Section 3, food, gas, and everything else is up too. Okay, now let's talk groceries. Eggs, milk, meat, all more expensive than they were just a year or two ago. According to the USDA, the average American household is now spending $500 to $800 a month on food. And that's for basic items, not luxury meals. And gas? Prices may go up and down, but every jump hits working families hard. If you have to drive to work, to school, or to the store, you're paying more every week. Utilities? Rising. Health insurance? Sky high. Childcare? In some cities, it costs more than college tuition. Everything is getting more expensive. But wages aren't keeping up. Section 4, wages haven't kept up. Here's where things get really frustrating. Between 1979 and now, worker productivity in the US has gone way up. People are working harder and faster than ever. But their pay? It's barely moved. Adjusted for inflation, the average worker today earns almost the same or even less than they did decades ago, especially in jobs like retail, food service, or delivery. Even college grads are struggling. A degree used to be a ticket to the middle class. Now, it often comes with tens of thousands of dollars in debt and a job that barely covers rent. Section 5, how people are reacting. So what happens when people can't keep up? Some are taking on second or third jobs just to survive. Others are living with roommates, parents, or even in their cars. But a lot of people are simply giving up. They're giving up on owning a home, starting a family, going to college, saving for retirement, or even just dreaming big. Mental health is taking a hit too. Stress, burnout, and depression are rising, especially among young adults. People are asking, what's the point of trying so hard if nothing ever gets better? It's not laziness, it's exhaustion. And that's a dangerous sign for any society. Section 6, is this just a temporary problem? Now, some people might say, hey, this is just temporary. Inflation will cool down. The economy will bounce back. And maybe that's true, partially. But here's the reality. Even before COVID and inflation, millions of Americans were already living paycheck to paycheck. The pandemic just made it worse. The deeper issue? The system isn't working for everyone. CEOs and billionaires are making record profits. Corporations are posting all-time highs. Meanwhile, the average person is struggling to afford groceries. So no, this isn't just a short-term issue. It's a sign that something's broken. Section 7, what can be done? So, is there any hope? What can actually be done? Well, experts suggest a few things: raising the minimum wage to match inflation, capping rent increases in cities. More affordable housing construction, universal health care to reduce medical bills, debt relief for students and low-income families. Some states and cities are experimenting with these ideas and seeing results. But it's going to take political will, public pressure, and big changes to really fix the system. Section 8, why this matters. Why does all this matter? Because when regular people can't afford to live, when they're too tired to dream, when giving up starts to feel easier than pushing forward, that's not just a personal problem, or it's a national one. We're talking about the soul of the country here. America was built on the idea that if you work hard, you can build a better life. But if that dream slips out of reach for too many people, for too long, people start to lose faith. And once that faith is gone, everything else starts to fall apart. So where does that leave us? The truth is, the cost of living in America is making people give up, not because they want to, but because the system feels rigged against them. But here's the thing, nothing changes unless we talk about it. That's why channels like this exist, to inform, to question, to dig deeper. So if this video made you think or opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Let's keep asking the hard questions, and maybe, just maybe, we'll start finding real answers. Thanks for watching FactBuddy US, and we'll see you in the next one.